I thought I was going to go to jail for murder. I thought that a kid was about to die in front of me. I thought that there was nothing I could do. Hey guys, what's up? So this week I am doing a story time video because I'm one of those people that things happen to them and you tell the story and like there's always a few people in the group that are listening to it that are like, there's no way that this girl is telling the truth right now. Like there's no way that these things could happen to her. And they happen to me like all the time. I just realized my under eye makeup is like way too light because I didn't do my makeup right today. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't comment on it. I'm aware. Relax. So this particular story, it's a little wonky. And to save some people's identities, I'm going to go ahead and make fake names in my names real quick because I'm not ever trying to expose anyone with these story times. But let's just get right into it. The first time I ever got high. So I was in LA and it was one of my first times that I was visiting. I was really excited about it because everything was just so new. It's still exciting to me. But it was just everything was so new and like palm trees and excitement, really cool time. And I had met this new girl there and she was just so fun and I loved her and she was just so LA. You guys know what I'm talking about. And just like so interesting and wow, you're amazing. So I decided one night to go hang out with her and one of my other friends who happens to be a Disney kid, which is especially why I'm blurring out names right now. So her, Disney kid, actually couple of Disney kids, I just realized they both are, and her friend who models and just a bunch of cool people that were all in the industry. So we get back to her place, we're all just chilling, talking, hanging out, and she goes, guys, we should smoke. And I was like, smoke what? And she's like, weed. I'm like, because like in my mind I was just thinking back to all the stigma of like smoking weed. It was just terrible. It was a drug. You were gonna like lose all your teeth and like go to hell and your parents would disown you. I don't know. It was just like something really scary to me. But also I was very easily manipulated at that point in my life. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm among friends. I should try it. So one of my other friends that I was with, he is allergic to weed, so he stayed in the other room and we all went back into their room and we, lit up the bong because we're cool kids. And I took like one hit and guys, I was on my ass because I don't know how many of you guys smoke or really know anything or that much about weed, but LA, California weed is in a whole different grade than like other places. I smoked a little bit more and I was just so like, oh, it was the coolest thing ever, and I was like laughing and everything was so funny, and I happened to be in a fight with one of my friends that night and like we made up and I was like hugging him and I was like, I love you so much, I'm sorry that we ever got in this fight, you're amazing, you're a beautiful soul. I was getting like into the high talk where I'm like, Native Americans are wolves and light relativity, like I was just like super, yeah, it was great. I was having a great time, I'm not gonna lie. It started out as a fantastic night. So then after that, she invited another one of her friends over and he was like, hey, can I bring my friend with me? We're both hanging out right now. And we're like, yeah, sure, whatever, it's a party. So he came with his friend, they smoked a little bit. His friend had said he'd smoked all the time, he was like a pro, so we were like, yeah, he's smoking, we're all smoking. I'm saying smoking too much, whatever, it was a fun time. Here, my friends, is where shit hit the fan, as they say. We were all chilling, and guy's friend, we're gonna call him Abe, because what a name. We're gonna call him Abe. Abe started like getting a little bit of a headache, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna go sit with your friend who's like allergic to weed, and we'll just talk out there while you guys finish up here. And then maybe we can go to like an after party or something going on tonight. And we were like, yeah, that sounds great. All right, see you in a little bit. He went out. I don't even know how much time passed because we're all kind of out of it. And we were just sitting there laughing, and then we were like, oh, okay, we should probably go. Yeah, it's getting pretty late. Come out and we see him on the couch with my friend, and my friend's just kind of like looking at him like he does one of these. He's like, he's just shaking. Guys, I'm getting anxiety now just like thinking about it. It's gonna make me stutter over my words, so I apologize. But he was just shaking and sweating, and we were like, oh my god. So I go up to him, I'm like, hey dude, are you okay? And he's not responding. His eyes are kind of fluttering. I think he's having a seizure. I've never seen anything like this before. His friend comes over and he's like, hey, like, let me take care of it. He starts to help him out. And then the girl whose house we were at was like, we need to get him out of this house. And I was like, why? And she's like, if he dies in this house, I'm gonna be accountable for him and I could get charged with murder. We're like, that's what you're concerned about? Like, some guy is having a seizure in your house and we don't know what's going on, and you, what? So she was just like, get him out of my house, get him out of my house. And we're like, okay. So we start to grab him. Me and the two guys and the other girl all pick him up and we start to carry him. Her apartment was set up to where you had to walk across this hall and then carry him down like 2 flights of stairs, and then like the garage was like around the corner. So it was a lot, and we were like carrying him and he was just sweating, and we finally get him down the stairs and we set him on the ground and he just starts throwing up everywhere, and I'm freaking out for this guy. Like, this is terrifying. And keep in mind, guys, this is the first time I've ever gotten high. If you guys do know about weed, you know that the first time you get high is very intense because your body's never had anything like it before. So I'm just high out of my mind, freaking out. It's now turned into a bad high, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I start to kind of carry him towards her car, and we're like, all right, we'll just take him to the hospital. And she's like, he's not going in my car. And we're like, why? She's like, same deal as my apartment. If he dies in my car, I'm going to be accountable. We're not putting him in my car. And we're going to call her Becca from now on. I was like, Becca, if we do not put Abe in the car, I'm going to call the police on you because you're about to let a kid die because you won't help him. And she starts getting mad at me. It was just like this back and forth. Everyone was high, so everyone was freaking out. And finally we convince her to let him in the car. She, however, doesn't want him anywhere near her. She's driving. I'm in the back seat. His head's on my lap, and I'm kind of like calming him down. At this point, he is soaked completely through his shirt with sweat, and we ended up taking his shirt off because he was just like sweating so much. Oh my god. Eyes were rolled back. It was just, I still to this day don't exactly know what was wrong with him. So after we get in the car, we're driving a little bit. She's like, we're just gonna go to the party and we'll drop him in front of the party and they'll just think it's somebody who had a drunk thing. I was like, what is your problem? Guys, I don't know if you fully understand. This girl had someone who could potentially die in her car, and what she was concerned about is not getting framed for the murder of it. What a shit person, guys. What a absolute shit person to let this happen. So we're driving and I'm like, all right, you're taking him to the hospital or I am calling the police. So you can decide if we are going to take him to the front of the hospital and help him, or if you're about to get arrested right now. And she was like, fine, you can take him yourself. I'll pull over into a parking lot and you can call an Uber and then you can go with him. And I was like, fine. So we pull into this parking lot. We call an Uber. Me and his friend were gonna take him. So we get out of the car, start to get in the Uber, and the Uber's like, takes one look at the guy and is like, no, like, sorry, I don't want him in my car. And we were like, we have to. And he was like, no, he's probably gonna throw up in my car. He probably thought it was somebody drunk or like something like that. The guy refused to have him get a scar, basically. And she goes in to the grocery store and decides to get a little meal for herself and goes ahead and like gets some, I don't even know what she got, like fried chicken or like Chinese takeout. I don't know. She got food for herself. She got food for herself. His friend comes up with the idea, hey, I'm gonna take him to his house. Will you just drop me off at his house and I won't be a bother to you. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. She's like, fine. This has already wasted so much of my night. I don't even want to deal with it anymore. I'm never talking to you again. I didn't sign up for this. F you. Like, just going on like a screaming rampage. She keeps yelling at me because he's passing out like in my arms in the back seat, and I'm like, hey, like, it's okay. Stay with me. What's your name? Just kind of like asking him questions to like keep him like not because at this point he could talk a little bit, and I was like, okay, I just need to keep him like talking to me. I really don't want him to pass out right now. And she's like yelling in the backseat. She's like, what is he doing? Keep him awake! Wake him up! Wake him up! What is he doing? Like yelling in the backseat, and I'm like, I keep laughing, but it's just because this is like such an unbelievable situation. It's what? Finally, we get him to his house. His friend gets out of the car. He goes with him. I don't even remember what we did after this, honestly. I'm pretty sure that... Did I go back to the hotel? Because my mom was staying, like, in town. So I might have gone back to the hotel, actually. Guys, please keep in mind with the details of this, if there are a few things that seem really skip-over-ish, it's because of how high I was and because it was a very intense situation. But have no fear. I did get in touch with his friend later, and I talked to him, and the kid is fine. They think that he had a allergic type reaction to the weed. My lesson to you is, if you are going to get high for the first time, please, please, please make sure that you are around people that you trust and that you know, and that you are in a safe environment, because I obviously was not. And that situation, although thankfully I got out of it and he got out of it and everyone got out of it a-okay, it could have very, very easily taken a very different turn that night, and he could have died, and we could all be in just a very different place. And kid, if you're watching this somehow, I'm glad that you're okay. I'm so sorry. I tried to help you in all the ways I could. I'm glad that you're alright. Everyone who was, if you guys somehow see the title of this video and you were there that night, hey, what's up? How you doing? Remember that? Remember how we survived that? Hey, found it. Nice. You guys have any like super weird high videos or anything like that? Tell me about them below, because high stories are so funny, guys. They're hilarious, except for this one. Alright, I will talk to you later. I love you. You matter. Deuces.